All right, Shalom, it's your brother Yonathan. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters pursuing this truth and sincerity. All right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. Now, when this devil starts to hoard all the resources, it's not for no reason. It's for the purpose of control. See, ultimately, the end goal for this devil is to usurp the throne of the Most High. So when you talk about the mark of the beast coming into place and them taking dominion over the souls of the people, because if you were to take that mark, that's what you're doing. You're giving dominion of yourself over to this devil instead of the Most High. But in order to make sure the masses of the people submit unto his way, they need people in a state of desperation. So these AI data centers that they're building, that need so much water and need to be kept cool. There's plenty of ways to keep it cool. China has built many of their data centers underwater. Got the whole Antarctic up there. Keep it cool. Water regions that America controls where they can build their data centers. There's logical ways to do everything. Okay? There's upright ways to do everything so that life can still flourish. But this devil isn't about life flourishing. That's why the scripture saying in Matthew the 24th chapter, if he was left in rulership, the Lord left this man to his devices, no flesh would be saved. He would destroy himself too in the process. But I got a clip for you guys that we're going to run, and then we'll bring out some precepts, all right? Now I brought this out of lessons at a point.
You guys got to watch this.
USWR, the United States Water Reserve, will be one of the greatest wealth explosions of this century. Fresh water is the new oil. This is going parabolic.
This is exactly what Bill Gates was talking about. It's already on Coinbase under the ticker USWR, the United States Water Reserve. Almost nobody understands the severity of what's coming, but just stay with me. Bill Gates, the same guy who has predicted every single global crisis and profited billions off of it, is the same guy who's been buying water for all this time. AI has been secretly surging behind the scene that is creating a lot of heat, and that demands a law of constant cooling. And that cooling is costing billions of gallons of water, which is making our water very precious and very scarce. The United Nations literally confirmed this. With that in mind, water is set to become extremely valuable, since there's going to be less and less of it. There is actually a video going viral right now about Dan Penna saying that water might become the next gold, and that super elite families like the Rockefellers have actually been buying up water for the past 100 years. And we actually just got breaking news on CNN that literally says, Gates warns UN, global water famine by 2027, blockchain solution proposed. And if you look very closely, it says, the billionaire philanthropist urges global leaders to adopt centralized technologies to avert a catastrophic water shortage. Now, what asset do you think he's talking about? Yes, you got it right, USWR. That made me very curious, so I started doing some digging on the blockchain. And I of course came across BlackRock's crypto portfolio holdings. And it turns out they've already been accumulating the USWR token. Not even 72 hours after that article came out. They have been loading up on this without the public knowing at all. The biggest asset manager in the entire world does not make a move like this unless something important is about to happen. And then guys, once I got to this website, that's when I went all in and deployed a lot of my capital into it. I went to the official
All right, then he starts trying to sell you a coin or something like that. But the point is given to you. A few things. Off the rip, these people make money off of the bullshit that they do. Again, making water scarce is going to cause a lot of death. It's going to cause a lot of suffering. All right, and they make money off of death and suffering. They make money off of sin. Okay? Secondly, this is going to put everybody in a state of panic, in a state of desperation, like the scriptures say. And he's always had a history, small hat especially. It's always had a history of defiling resources that people need and profiting from it. In the so-called Middle Ages, right? Or during the time where they was, the plague, but really, Jake, was just ruling in Europe for 1,000 years. So they try to just speed run that whole section of history. Like, oh, it's just a plague. That's all that happened. No, nigga, you were in a beast state for the most part. You were at the bottom of society. Okay, but during that time period, what you would have is a lot of the small hats would poison the water supply. They would poison wells, and they would have their own wells, but they would say, "Hey, our wells, our water's clean," and then they would sell water to the people at outrageous prices. Then they would get kicked out of the country. Other things too, like uh, currency, they would snip the edges of coins and melt those edges down and make new coins. That's why now, even in modern times, when you get a quarter or something, it has the ridges around the side, so you can see that it hasn't been snipped. All right, because the money will be made void if they see that it's been snipped. So these people would cause inflation even back then by snipping the edges of coins. Bunch of stuff they would do. But right now we're talking about the water. They put their dead rats in the water, poison in the water. People get sick, and they're like, the water's messed up, and they're like, hey, we got clean water. So they're notorious for this tactic. It just gets revamped. The justification, so like it, the justification this time is going to be like for us to move forward as a society, for us to be able to compete on the global scale and stay America. We're going to have to go a time where water's scarce. That's the pitch they're going to give you. For America to stay great, this has to be done. So when you see these figureheads, all right, these billionaires, they're really the elites allowed to be in the forefront to push a narrative. When you see them in the forefront saying things like this, we know through prophecy what it's leading up to. We're not. So that's the thing about the scriptures. We're not in the spirit of, oh, we're speculation. Okay, no. When you understand the prophecies, you're letting people know this is what the Lord has decreed. This is what's going to play out. Then you watch. When you see things happening in the world, you can say, this is something that's leading up to what the Lord has ordained. Okay? People are going to be confronted with a choice. The hour of temptation, man, where you're either going to lean on this devil for as your covering and your protection, or you're going to lean on Yahweh Shemi Hamashai. But here's the comment from Jeff Bezos. All right? He said, water should be prioritized for data centers, not the people, for data centers, not the children that are being born, for data centers over human consumption. Humans won't evolve humanity, AI will. So they're setting AI up to, again, to be your God, the same way they set it up that mRNA in 2020 to be your God. And people just continuously trust this man. They just continuously trust the pedo. So, and all these guys are saying, this is the former president of Nestle, about 20 some odd years ago, he made this statement. He says, water is not a human right. It should be privatized. And water, as of now, is in the process of being privatized. Mind you, water is one of the things the scripture said men need to function on the earth. Let's go to Sirach. All right, this is James. All right, this is the book of James, verse 5. Chapter 5 and verse 4. It says, "Behold, the hire of your laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back of them by fraud." Salakia. Give me 1 second. You kept back from them by fraud, crying, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord Sabaoth. So when you hold back a man's wages, you take away the ability for him to feed himself. Okay? It cries unto the Lord. The same way Abel's blood cried unto the Lord when he was slew by his brother Cain, which you can receive it through the Spirit. The same Spirit is in rulership today. Esau's the regeneration of Cain. He's ruling. And he's always been acquainted with that sword or bloodshed to forward his agenda. Right? So now is the time to resist the devil, and the Lord's going to have it to where he flees from you. All right? Seek righteousness, seek meekness, so that you may be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. We desire to be hid. There's one way to get access to be hid in the days to come. Okay? You got to be seeking Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and you got to have faith, because that's what he's looking for when he comes back. He's looking for faith. All right? Looking for faithful individuals, man. And so, just a quick lesson for you guys, man. You don't want this to run long. Still here at the plantation. We're about to be liberated here soon, man. So, beautiful time to be in to see these prophecies playing out. See this devil making his move. And with that being said, we give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekah HaKadosh. Want to give double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone. Want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters pursuing this truth in sincerity, all right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.
Thank you.